In the early scenes of Oppenheimer, J. Robert Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy, an American physics student attending graduate school in England and Germany in the 1920s, with bright blue marble eyes and a curly wedge of hair that stands up like Charlie Chaplin's, keeps having visions of particles and waves. We see the images that are disrupting his mind, the particles pulsating, the waves aglow in vibratory bands of light. Oppenheimer can see the brave new world of quantum physics, and the visual razzmatazz is exactly the sort of thing you'd expect from a biopic written and directed by Christopher Nolan. A molecular light show as a reflection of the hero's inner spirit. But even when Oppenheimer settles down into a more realistic, less phantasmagorical groove, which it does fairly quickly, it remains every inch a Nolan film. You feel that in the heady, dense, dizzying way it slices and dices chronology, psychodrama, scientific inquiry, political backstabbing, and history written with lightning, no mere metaphor in this case, since the movie, which tells the story of the man who created the atomic bomb, feels almost like it's about the invention of lightning. Cillian Murphy, with a thousand-yard beam, the half-smile of an intellectual rake, and a way of keeping everything close to the West, gives a phenomenal performance as Oppenheimer, making him fascinating and multi-layered. His OP is an elegant Mandarin who's also a bit snake-like, at once a cold prodigy and an ardent humanist, an aristocrat and a womanizer, a Jewish outsider who becomes a consummate insider, and a man who oversees the invention of nuclear weapons without a shred of doubt or compunction, only to confront the world he created from behind a defensive shield of guilt that's a lot less self-aware. Murphy, wearing Oppenheimer's trademark wide-brimmed poke-pie hat, or sometimes wearing nothing at all, a shock because we're not used to seeing a science geek portrayed with this kind of sensuality, is at the center of almost every scene, and he imprints himself on your imagination. The movie needs that, because Oppenheimer is a relentless, coruscating piece of maximalist cinema that you watch on the edge of your brain. Nuclear fission means the release of energy that happens when the nucleus of an atom is split, and Nolan has conceived Oppenheimer as an act of cinematic fission. He fragments the story into parts that keep colliding, immersing us in the heat and energy that all gives off. It's a style that owes a major debt to Oliver Stone's Nixon, though that movie was a masterpiece. This one is urgent and essential, but in a less fully realized way,